Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Mark. Have you noticed how mobile phone prices have been increasing, getting higher and higher each year? So what happens when you buy a mobile phone that costs less than $120? Well, luckily enough, I've been asked to review the Xgody Mate30, which costs $118 and is a Mate30 that does have the Google Play Store on. Before we go any further, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And now let's take a look at this smartphone. The 6.2-inch screen has a resolution of 540 by 1140. There's a USB-C port at the bottom for charging. There's 32 gig on board and that's expandable to 64 gig. It's lightweight in the hand. It is very plasticky, so while it looks quite premium, it doesn't feel too premium. It feels very plasticky, which you'd expect at this price. It's rocking Android version 9 at the time of review, and overall it's a pretty decent experience. It can play basic games pretty well. Actually, I was quite surprised at how well it played these. The speakers on this aren't great. They'll do the job, but you're probably better off with some headphones. They're not the best speakers I've tried. And for simple games like this, you won't have a problem. I found though that when you move away from these kind of vertical scrolling games and to something with a bit more oomph in it, that it does struggle a bit. So in this racing game, the menu was quite laggy. The game is actually playable. It does load up and play, but it is noticeable the frame rates aren't as good as high-end mobiles, but you can get by on it. This isn't going to be a phone for people who want to play a lot of games though. Now you may have noticed at the start what looked like 4 cameras around the back. This is actually a bit of a trick, and on the manufacturer's website there's only 1 camera at the back and the rest are listed as accessories. That rear camera is an 8 megapixel camera. There's a front facing 5 megapixel camera and it's just okay. I mean, it struggles with focus. The colours are a little bit washed out, so there's a photo from the OnePlus 6 at the bottom right, and again the bottom left you can see the greens aren't very green. So again, this is just okay in terms of cameras. The video quality as well, just okay. This is actually very similar to some footage I was looking at recently from a Sony K800, which if you remember that's from about 10 years ago. So the quality video-wise is pretty poor by today's standards. So here we're recording on the front-facing camera, and the colours on the screen look a little bit washed out. It's also a little bit laggy when I'm moving around. But what does the actual image look like to you? Here it is, full screen. Is this acceptable when you consider that this is a very low-cost mobile phone? So I think for the price you're getting a pretty decent mobile phone, all things considered. It looks pretty good. It's got a very similar styling to a lot of the top-end phones, so at first glance you wouldn't necessarily think that this was a very low-end budget mobile. Of course, the camera isn't going to be anywhere near as good as those top-end phones. That's the component that costs a lot of money. But if you know someone, or you are yourself someone who just wants a basic phone, talk, text, bit of internet and a few apps, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this phone. If you want to learn more about this, I will put a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video.